Good morning and welcome back to The Clueless Father. What we're going to be talking about in this segment is capturing the moments of pregnancy and birth with your child and mom. Now, if you're already a gear junkie with every computer program in the world, multiple cameras, multiple video cameras, you probably don't need to watch this segment. As a matter of fact, I'm sure you don't. However, if you're interested in some gear that might be recommended, as well as moments that are recommended for capture, as well as those that aren't, please watch forward. The first thing we're going to talk about is why document. Now, there are a number of reasons to document pregnancy and birth. One of these is legal. Nowadays, there's a lot of reasons you might need to document the fact that your wife or your partner was pregnant with your child during the entire pregnancy through to birth. Our daughter, for example, needs dual citizenship, and the government requires a lot of photographic evidence for me to prove that during the entire pregnancy and through the birth and early childhood that my daughter is my daughter, in fact. So it was really convenient that I did so much documentation because it was quite easy to assemble. The next reason is for sharing memories with friends and family and the people you love, just in case they're not in those other two categories. And nowadays, with the internet and the ways to share digital information, this has never been easier. So it's always good to have the memories of the whole adventure that you traveled so you can share the whole thing with them. The next big reason is, of course, for you to enjoy with mom and your child later. Okay, there's nothing better than looking back at the whole adventure that you two took to get to the point of having the kid and then the kid growing up. I can't comment much on the kid growing up because I'm only 2 months into it, but just those 2 months are really enjoyable to see on photos and video. The fourth and probably the most important reason for documenting is to embarrass your child in their later years. These are known as naked baby photos, and you just can't have enough of those, as your parents have most likely already proven to you. So think about those reasons when you decide that you do want to document. Next, let's talk about what gear are you going to need. Nowadays, with still cameras becoming video cameras and video cameras becoming still cameras and the resolutions that they have, pretty much anything you're going to buy is going to work for you. Anything over 8 megapixels is going to give you nice large prints that you can use later. But you're probably going to be pretty hard pressed to find something with as little as 8 megapixels nowadays. Just decide what you want and what's easier for you. But I definitely recommend having a digital still camera and a video camera as opposed to just relying on a combination of one or the other, because they tend to have their weaknesses and faults. If you're a Canon person or a Nikon person or a Sony person or a whatever person, just stick with what you like, test them out until you find a combo that you like, but I do recommend having still and video. In terms of software programs you can use, there's a lot of software out there for handling photos, image manipulation, as well as video manipulation and video editing with effects and DVD burning and stuff like that. They're making it easier and easier for the average person, meaning someone who doesn't necessarily specialize in photo or video editing, to be able to do what they want with their family and friend photo albums and video footage. I won't get into the PC Mac argument. It's just, what are you comfortable with? They're all tools. They pretty much do the same job. Some do them better, some do them worse, depending on how you work. So just find something you're comfortable with and learn how to use it. There's a million tutorials out there on the internet. Learn to use them well. Next, let's talk about the printing of your photos. Now, online there are many services that will actually just take your photos and automatically generate photo books and send them wherever you want, including your own home. These are very convenient, it's very nice. You might want to check them out. You can find them on Shutterfly, Flickr, and other photo sites like that. Just type it in, there's a million places that do it. Next, there's always the option of taking it into a photo printing service, or even your supermarket, or even one of those little digital kiosks they have nowadays. It's very fast, you get nice quality prints as long as you're taking good photos, and it's pretty convenient and cheap too. Having a nice photo color copier printer or a multi-function printer is always great to have for being able to print off the photos that you like, that you just want to stick in small frames, or even in some cases somewhat larger frames. So just take a look around. Almost all the printers are really cheap. Where they nail you is on the ink. So just think about it. Don't try to print off all your photos that you've taken at one time. Select the photos that you really like and the ones that you and mom really enjoy and print those off. Otherwise, it's great to have a photo printer at home just for doing the one-offs to friends and family that ask for them on the spot. So let's talk for a moment about moments that I recommend you capture. And it doesn't really matter that I recommend them, but just think about it because these are some pretty important moments. Here are some specific recommended moments that you really want to make sure you have a camera handy for. And whether it's a digital photo or a video camera or both, just make sure you get the moment. First is getting the first ultrasound. This is a moment and a half. You're going to find out you're a dad, and mom's going to find out for sure she's a mom, and you're probably going to hear your child's heart beating. It's going to knock you off your feet. So have a digital camera and a video camera ready to capture this moment. Also make sure you tell the doctor to press record on the ultrasound button so he can give you a DVD of the ultrasound afterwards. Next, you're going to have more ultrasounds and doctor's visits and little celebratory dinners after you see your baby. Just have the camera and video camera around to capture each of them. They're fun moments, they're enjoyable, and again, don't forget to have the gynecologist press the record button. Next is preparing for a baby shower. Now, a baby shower is up to you and mom whether or not you're going to have it. But if you are going to have it, and you are going to prepare for it and put up decorations and that type of stuff and make it something special, make sure you capture that. It's always good to see you climbing up a ladder, nailing something into the ceiling. That's something that people can appreciate and go, wow, what an act of dad. Or it's just something you can laugh on later and say, look, there was me being the interior designer. Either way, capture it. The baby shower itself, you're going to want to capture your friends and family and everybody who's there goofing around. It's a really fun time and it's nice, and also it's something you can use in terms of your legal documentation. Make the baby shower special, have the video camera, have the still camera, capture the moments, and put it together into a nice thing that everybody can watch and enjoy afterwards. Next, you're going to be getting a lot of baby accessories and doing a lot of things to prepare around the house. This is a good time to have mom hold the camera or the video camera so that your kid can eventually see how hard you worked to get all this ready for them. So just have it around, whether it's the new stroller that arrives that you're assembling or the crib being put into the room, and just capture that moment. The other time you're going to want to have a camera ready, and in this case I think usually just a still camera because otherwise stores get a little nervous, is when mom first starts shopping for baby clothes and baby type fabrics. There's a certain look on their face which is just unduplicatable. It's a really special smile and they go a little bit crazy. They go like, woohoo! And you want to capture that. It's always great to look back on later when they're holding the little thing and they have that huge smile on their face. So make sure you've got a camera around. Next, preparing to enter the hospital. There is going to be this whole period of pseudo-panic that's occurring around the time when you're expecting the child or when the birth has been programmed for delivery. You want to take photos and video of that because, you know, you and mom are both on edge and it's kind of a funny, panicky time period. So you can say and do stupid things and you might want to grab those on camera for later laughter. Next is actually entering the hospital. Now, most hospitals know that parents nowadays are video and photo crazy. They will not have a problem with you snapping off photos of you and mom signing papers and doing all this other stuff to actually prepare for the delivery. Now, you may be going in on a panic depending on if the baby comes sooner than expected. So just have a camera on standby and ready to go. And if mom is having a really rough time, don't be obtrusive about it. Next is when you're actually preparing to go into the delivery room itself. Now, depending on whether you're getting a natural birth or a cesarean can greatly influence the attitude, the anxiety, and the panic, and frankly, the scream level of the moment. So just have a camera on standby. We're ready to snap photos.